Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a collective summer book haul. I haven't filmed a book haul in a while, so I figured I would just throw all the books that I got this summer into one video. A few of these books you may have already seen, so forgive me, but I thought I'd show them anyways, and the first one is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and this one I'm currently reading. It's really good. I got it from the last bookstore in LA, which is amazing. If you haven't been there and you live somewhere close to LA and you can go there, I recommend you go because it's amazing. Aside from the bookstore being amazing, this book is incredible. But I'm going to do a review when I finish it, so I'll leave it at that. The next book I got, obviously, is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I'm not going to talk more about it because I already have my review up for it. I'm pretty sure everyone in the world knows this book already. Yeah, but I did pick this up this summer, so I figured I would throw it in this video. The next few books I got were for a creative writing class that I'm taking. The first one is Hink Fiction. And this is a anthology of short stories. I mean like super short stories. They're 25 words or less, and I mean like literally like they're so short. But yeah, I already read this. I have a review up on Goodreads, and I plan on including it in a mini wrap-up that I'm gonna film pretty soon, and I'll talk a little bit more about it, but this is incredible. It's edited by Robert Swartwood, so if you want to pick that up, I highly recommend it. So that's another book that I got. The next two books I haven't really looked into. I just picked them up because they were required, but I thought I would share them anyways in case someone was interested. This one is In the Palm of Your Hand, and I know it helps people play with poetry a little bit more. I haven't really dabbled in poetry too much. When I do write, sometimes it is poetry, but I haven't really had a guided lesson in poetry, if that's how you say it. But it says it's The Poet's Portable Workshop by Steve Coet. Yeah, so I picked it up for my class. It was super cheap. It was on Amazon, but I'm looking forward to getting into using this a lot more because I do plan on writing a lot more now that I have graduated. The next one is Good Poems for Hard Times, and this one is by Garrison Keillor? I don't know, but they're selected by him. Again, I don't really know much about this, but when I do, I will post more about it, but I did manage to pick this up. I got this on Amazon as well, and I'm looking forward to getting more into poetry. The next one, and the final one that is required for my class, is Monstrous, and it is a bunch of short stories by Leslie Tenorio. I probably pronounced that entirely wrong, but Leslie Tenorio. I'm excited. He's going to come to our school this semester. Oh, if you're wondering why I'm saying school, it's because I'm taking a couple classes at a community college nearby just because I am going through withdrawals from university, so I figured I would take a couple classes that I've always wanted to take, one of which is creative writing, and this is one of the books that we are going to be reading. I've already read one story in it, and it's called Super Assassin, and it was fantastic. But I heard that these stories, I could be wrong, they all had a little bit of a theme of misfits and finding their way through life, but I know the Super Assassin's story that I read from here was super, super good, and I flew through it. So I'm looking forward to finishing this book and reviewing it more properly later. Alright, the next book I got was also at the last bookstore. This one is Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to introduce this to BookTube. This is an amazing collection of poetry. I didn't know how well known she was when I first grabbed this. Admittedly, the cover grabbed me, and then I read the back, and the back is what also struck me, and I was so set on buying this book. But the back says, "This is the journey of surviving through poetry. This is the blood, sweat, tears of 21 years. This is my heart in your hands. This is the hurting, the loving, the breaking, the healing." And I was like, wow, I really need this. I already read this and I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. I want to include this in my wrap-up, and I've marked a few of the ones that are my favorites, so I plan on doing a little reading of those in my next video, so keep an eye out for that. But if you haven't picked this up, and even if you can't afford it, like, let me know. I will ship you mine so you can read it. It is fantastic. I follow her on Instagram now, and she's just an amazing human in general, so I cannot rant about this book enough. And the next book I got is The Sellout by Paul Beatty. This book, I believe, is on the Man Booker long list this year. It is a satire about an African-American man whose dad was shot by the police and he died. He's trying to right all the wrongs in his life, and eventually he comes to the conclusion of bringing back slavery. Obviously, this book touches on a lot of very controversial topics. It's a satire, and I feel like I am just going to climb down a rabbit hole once I start reading this, but I am so excited to start reading this. I can't wait. Oh, not to mention, like, I don't know what about the book cover, but it looks beautiful to me. Yeah, so I picked it up. And the next book that I got is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and it was inspired by a book, or an idea from Siobhan Dowd. I totally ruined that name, I know I did. Whatever. It's illustrated by Jim Kay, and I actually just finished it before filming this video. I marked a few parts that I really loved, but I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I picked this up on a whim the same time I picked up The Sellout, and I've heard a lot about, well, okay, I haven't heard a lot about it, but I've seen it a lot of places on BookTube, and I know that there's a lot of praise for this book, so I figured I'd give it a go. I'm incredibly happy that I picked this up, and probably one of my favorite grabs that I got this summer so far, so I'm really happy, and I'm going to be talking more about it in my review, so look forward to that soon. And the last two things that I got this summer were just little things. They're technically not books, but they're bookish and book related, so I figured I'd throw them in here, why not? The first is this journal. It's so cool. I think it's so beautiful. It's like a celestial theme, and the sides are gold, like the pages are gilded. And yeah, it's just like a plain line-paged journal, but I am in love with it. I use my other journal, which is in my summer favorites video, and I have only a few pages left, so I figured it's time for a new journal. And this one, my sister actually told me about this one. She's like, there's a journal that you would really like at Barnes & Noble. So off I went to Barnes & Noble, and she actually purchased it for me as a gift, so thank you, Taylor. But yeah, this is it. And in the same shopping trip, I got a mini journal. It is silver, and it looks like this. I think it's so beautiful. The sides, it's just like really intricately designed. And my favorite part of the pages also have like these designs on them, and it has a ribbon. Oh, the other one has a ribbon as well. Yeah, but this one, what I really like about it, aside from it being small and I can bring it anywhere, is that it has this little clasp that like holds your book together, or your journal rather. And I have this terrible habit of throwing my journal in my bag along with pens, and then the pages will either get crushed in on themselves or the pen will like write all over it. And so I feel like this is a smarter decision, a more wise decision to have this one, because it has the clasp, so it will always stay closed. But yeah, I really love this, and it's something that I picked up this summer, so that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed my collective summer book haul. Let me know what books you guys picked up, or if you've read any of these books that I've mentioned, and what you think, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.